Kapag merong paulit-ulit na nangyayari sa buhay mo, na if you notice there's a pattern, o kaya parang there's a prolonged, problem that is occurring in your life, it may be that God is truly at work in you dyan sa area na yan mismo. So it's very important that you open up yourself in prayer before the Lord to ask Him for wisdom, no? Para maunawaan mo. Again, kapag may paulit-ulit, halimbawa na issue or problem with regard to, kunyari, relationships or finances or any aspect of your being, no? Nakikita mo yung pattern at hindi lang naman na siguro parang paulit-ulit. Maybe it could be parang tumatagal, yung problema. Then that may be an area of your life wherein the Lord wants you to put off something, meron siyang gustong alisin in your character, but also maybe He wants to put on a virtue or a fruit of the Spirit na He wants to develop in your life. Now, ang crucial dito, of course, is not to parang deny it or repress it or parang maging busy ka para you can focus on other things rather than dun sa nangyayari sa iyo. So, for instance, kung lagi ka nagkakaroon ng problema, sa relationships mo, maybe because, lagi nagkakaroon ng conflict with someone close to you. So, it may be na he's trying to deal with an area of your life na maaring blindsided ka o hindi ka aware. Maybe it has to do with your anger or it has to do with harsh words, no, na nanggagaling sa bibig mo when you're upset. Now, the thing is to really take the time to be in God's presence and to open up yourself to the Lord, no, in prayer, to ask Him, ano yung mga bagay na that seems to be occurring paulit-ulit that is causing those problems. In other words, you want to be open to the Lord so He can reveal to you ano yung mga nangyayari usually, lalo na leading up to, for example, yung repeated conflict. Just try to open up yourself to God to find out ano yung mga dahilan. Maybe it's your way of thinking or it's your way of responding, no? At the same time, there may be, things that God wants to develop in you, like patience or siguro a more generous spirit or yung tipong your willingness to bear with others' faults and weaknesses. Now, ang susi dito is not so much na pag nalaman mo na to, then you can go ahead and just help, yourself or do something para mabago yung sarili mo. The goal of opening up yourself to God in this way is for you to become aware and to realize, no, ano yung mga areas that the Lord is showing you by His Spirit, no, that He wants to transform in your life. Remember that God is at work in you to make you willing and able to do His will. Pero your goal is not so much, alam ko na, kulang ako sa patience, so I'll try my best to be patient. Hindi, ang ano nun, ang goal mo talaga really is not so much na gumawa ka ng mga bagay para baguhin yung sarili mo. But for you to be focused in praying and asking God and relying for His grace dun sa area na, no, or areas that He may want to remove in you or from you, as well as yung mga bagay that He wants to instill in you. So in other words, you want to use this realization, itong awareness na ito, as your platform for praying, for asking God. Of course, hindi lang about prayer ito, but really this is where you begin. You pray to the Lord and you admit your guilt. You ask for forgiveness, for example, and say, Lord, I'm sorry, very harsh ako mag-reply, or I'm always impatient with people. So it helps you to pray and seek God, to humble yourself, but also at the same time to ask Him for the grace na kailangan mo to change and be transformed. So it's not just parang, Lord, from now on, magiging patient ako, but really to ask God to develop in you a patient heart, and to help you become a patient person. So your goal here is to ask for grace, no? and to expect that grace to be given to you. And that is the really the no, the basis of whatever alignment you are now going to take in terms of behavior. So pag alam mo na you're relying upon God, and God's grace is what you need, so you can go ahead and begin practicing siguro mga new habits and new behaviors that are aligned, no, with what you are praying for. And God will help you. God will give you the grace to fulfill yung kanyang purpose and will. So I hope na this helps you and clarifies yung isang area na siguro hindi natin napapansin in our lives. But whenever you're going through anything na parang paulit-ulit or maybe prolonged, you may be sure that God is teaching you something about what you probably need to, get rid of or put off, ika nga, and then ano yung mga bagay that He wants you to put on. All by the grace of God, siyempre, not relying on yourself. So, God bless you, and I hope na nakatulong sa inyo to. Bye-bye.